Ba-bum bum bum ba-da-na bum ba-da-na bum da-da-da-na-na. It's the Poke Bear Show with Nick and Forrest. Look and see how there's been 21 episodes so far to get through the entire first season. Okay, edit it now so that way there's like a bunch of that and it sounds like an audience of crazy Nicks. Yeah.
Alright, Nick, it has been 20 Poke Bears episodes.
What,
and
21?
This is the 21st episode.
Oh, this is, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And 20, not including the movie. Yeah.
19,
okay.
not including the movie.
This will be the 20th.
This will be the 20th.
Let's get it. Let's see. This is why English sucks. It's because too many things can mean the same thing, and you can say different things while saying the same thing, and it's dumb. This is the 21st episode. Yes, that's your point.
Oh man, it has been a hell of a ride, Nick.
Oh my God.
A hell of a ride.
It had some ups and it had some downs.
It had a lot of downs.
Well,
several ups.
Several ups, yeah. Several.
Yeah, some really good ups. A lot of downs.
A lot of downs.
Mostly thanks to filler, though. If
Yeah.
we're honest, it's mostly the filler that was the
downtrodden filler.
Because in general, most of the non-filler stuff,
like the gym battles, the ones where he catches Pokemon.
Yeah, that stuff was usually at least above average.
Yeah. Usually.
I mean, and you can have a few of those be bad. You know, it doesn't all have to be perfect.
Yeah, no. Melvin the Magician certainly wasn't the best character of the day.
No, that was a good. I like that episode, I believe, but that was not a good character.
No.
The Misty's sisters turned out to be right pains in the asses at the end there.
Oh no, they were always terrible. They were just even worse.
Well, I didn't expect them to make a comeback at the very end of the season.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't have. They really shouldn't
man.
have.
Let's do it.
Let's get these last 5 over with.
All right. So, episode number 78.
Fire and Ice.
This episode opens up, and we are already in the middle of an epic showdown between Ash and someone else.
Guy.
And a guy number 470.
With the Nidorino.
Yeah. A lot of people showed up for the Pokemon Championships with not fully evolved Pokemon. It's really weird.
So we give Ash a lot of flack for
yeah.
a lot of his unevolved Pokemon, but now we have all these other trainers who don't have fully evolved Pokemon.
In these 5 episodes, we see like Oddish, Drowsy, Nidorino, Magikarp, Bellsprout.
She might have kept the Bellsprout on purpose, though.
Yeah, because that could be a good strategy. And the Nidorino, I can at least, like, maybe you just couldn't find a Moonstone. It is hinted in the show that they're pretty rare, so I can let that slide.
Okay.
So
they're already on their last Pokemon.
Yeah.
And there's no character introduction for this guy. He's just a random guy.
I kind of like that we get like right into this episode though. Like, as soon as it starts, we're already in the middle of the battle. It gets you hyped up early. You didn't have to wade through a bunch of bullcrap to get to this battle.
Yeah, but here's the issue though: is that after battle, there's a lot of bullcrap.
Yes.
And then it leads to not the most thrilling battle at the end of it.
So anyway, this battle is it Nidorino at the very end against Squirtle?
Squirtle, yeah. So Ash has conveniently noticed like a curved rock or something because he has Squirtle withdraw and then roll, and then it just so happens that that's the exact angle that Squirtle needed to go in order to like roll up the curved rock and then hit Nidorino right in the face, and like
that was very convenient.
That was very convenient, and Ash is not that smart.
Like, he is a smart battler. I will give it to him. Like, he's been relied a lot on intuition and his good intelligence.
But that's fucking like
that's like
genius
Stephen
shit.
Hawking. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Like, that's unreal. Also, roll is not an attack.
Roll out is
roll out, but not roll. He didn't say, hey, Squirrel, withdraw and then use roll out. He said withdraw and roll. Okay, fine.
If they're allowed to say dodge, they're allowed to say roll.
I love how Squirrel's water gun, by the way, just his water gun, shoots that fucking Nidorino through a boulder. Like, that was impressive.
I think in the anime, they have water gun is the water version of flamethrower.
Yeah. That would make sense since they don't have anything between there in that generation.
Because Bubble is the,
Actually, did they
Ember.
have anything before? Oh, Surf.
Yeah.
Surf was the only other one.
Surf is the flamethrower.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to show Surf in the anime because how do you summon a bunch of water? Oh, you don't. Except by spitting it out.
That's fair. Okay, so my next note here, Ash obviously wins the battle.
I wish we saw the rest of the battle, though. Like,
yeah.
This is the Pokemon League. We've been, we waited through 28 plus, 10 more?
Yeah, at least.
We waited through 38 episodes of filler, so that way we could see Ash finally go to the Pokemon League. Half of the season. And we have one battle at the very end of it, and then one really rushed battle. Yeah, I just wish we got to see more of what we were looking for.
That is fair. That is fair. They could have opened up in the middle of the battle, but it could have been, at the beginning of the battle.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I agree.
Like Ash had just knocked out the first Pokemon of
Exactly.
the opponent, or his Pokemon just got knocked out.
That would be even better, because then we open up with him at the disadvantage. That immediately puts us into the moment.
This is stakes right here.
Exactly. Like, oh, right, we're already opened up on the ship coming down on the rebels.
Ash's Pidgeotto is already out. Wow.
Who would have thought it?
Yeah, the battle ends, and I said the referee's voice is stupid.
It is, but
The battle is won! The trainer from Pallet is the winner! I am a very authoritative! Bow down before me! That's what he sounds like.
Does he refer to every single trainer in the league by their hometown location?
He's not gonna memorize, their name.
So he's gonna memorize their hometown location?
He's gonna be like, oh, there's a couple trainers from Pallet. Great, I'll just he brackets them.
They can write the names of the trainers who are battling.
He
on
doesn't
the battle
want to
screen.
He doesn't want to mispronounce the name of the trainer. What if it's what if he says ass?
Ash.
I don't know.
Ash Keechum.
Ash Keechum. Yeah, what if he says that? He wants to avoid that. He knows how to say Town of Pallet, so he's going to say Town of Pallet.
Okay, fine.
So the referee announces the winner, and then we see Team Rocket, and they're plotting. But then they say, let's get on with the show. And I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was. Because I wanted them to get on with the show.
And
then they did the exact opposite of that for most of this episode. Because then it's the rest of the episode is, Ash needs to take better care of his Pokemon because they're, still tired from the battles, and where is Ash?
He's just having them eat.
He's
they're eating,
the
worst
snacks.
babysitter.
Yeah. And he just left to go, eat a buffet or something. Or
With Pikachu.
Find food.
Hey.
Pikachu's the only Pokemon he f***ing cares about.
You guys were all accidents. Pikachu's the only one I planned. Therefore, Pikachu's going to college and getting the food from the restaurant.
Jesus Christ.
And we see a poster for Pokemon Unlove.
Yeah.
Which is the movie that they filmed.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking terrible name.
It is a terrible name.
Like,
but to be fair, that we saw the opening night of that movie. It made no money because didn't he not charge them for tickets?
Yeah, it made no money.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, they're able to afford fucking posters and advertisements for it. A couple months after the movie came out.
Oh my god! I just realized that director just went completely bankrupt, didn't he? Like, his life is ruined. His entire life is done.
I mean,
his
I don't
career
care.
Is
He was
over.
terrible.
He was terrible.
He deserves everything.
That was
he gets
probably my least favorite character of the day. No, never mind. I forgot about Seymour.
Yeah, and what about the Genghis Khan kid and his father?
You.
Yeah.
That guy right in his fat ass.
Hey, what about the German Seymour?
That guy was also annoying, but it's considerably less annoying. Anyway, we were completely off topic. I think we just spent 30 minutes talking about the poster.
It's a really stupid poster, too.
Well, it's a really dumb episode. Nothing happens. Ash goes around looking for food, and all the Pokemon centers are full of people who care about their Pokemon.
But shouldn't they, have priority for, Pokemon League challengers?
That would indicate that the Pokemon League gives a about the trainers.
I mean, but they do. They, have this whole stadium and a parade.
And trainers in the league get to eat for free at buffets.
And trainers get to eat for free at buffets, so they do care about them. So
personally,
shouldn't they
very happy.
Don't have them eat for free. Just give them a discount and then give them priority for Pokemon centers. Yeah, that's what you do. Maybe part of the challenge is to properly go to a Pokemon center. Misty was yelling at Ash to be a better person.
Yeah.
And then Ash says, "Thanks, Mist."
Yeah, he has never used that nickname before.
It never
And
will.
he should never do it again. It's weird.
Like, were they that, like, trying to edit for time? Were they that desperate to...
One syllable.
Oh, God! We're 0.0001 seconds over the time limit. He just didn't say the E after Misty, but he elongated thanks, so...
Thanks, Mist. E.
We've also never talked about how Pikachu keeps saving Togepi's life.
No, we have completely missed that, yeah.
That's like a
I
gag.
think we sort of mentioned it once, but they've done it so many times. And honestly, I kind of like the gag.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Because Togepi will go off and do like some baby thing, like pull down a tablecloth and a bunch of utensils will be about to fall on her. Or him. And Pikachu will go and like save him, and then like he almost gets stabbed by gets stabbed by the utensils, and then Misty will be like...
Pikachu's a he.
And then Ash will be like, Pikachu, what are you doing? And Misty will be like, well, I'm glad Togepi never does that kind of thing. That'd be crazy. I also noted that they were playing on the road to Viridian City during the parade that they come by.
In the Indigo League?
In the Indigo League. So I was like, oh, this is an in-universe, like, song? But why is it on the road to Viridian City? Who gives a about Viridian City? Is it that important of a city?
I mean...
Is that the equivalent of, like, go to New York City?
It's probably, like, where a lot of people get their last or first gym badge.
Yeah, I guess.
So, yeah, it's like the gateway city to the Indigo League.
Okay.
So I'll give them that.
Okay.
It's also probably just like the most catchy of the Pikachu's Jukebox songs. Pokemon Center that Ash ends up trying to go to is full. Then they try to go to another one, and then that line's even more full.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy holding a sign.
Just an
arrow sign on it.
There's nothing...
This way to the line. Like...
like, there's no other writing on it at all. It's just, there's an arrow. There's, like, a guy holding it.
Why don't you just, like, fucking, like, tape the arrow to the building behind you?
Or just, like, point or something. Like, that guy went out and either bought or made this sign with an arrow on it to just stand in the middle of the road, pointing it at the Pokemon Center.
But he was also...
without any other indication.
He was in casual wear. He wasn't in uniform.
He was just a guy. Yeah. He was just some guy who was like, I want to hold arrows.
Oh yeah, this is a Pokemon from like the 9th generation.
Oh god.
It's called Pointmer.
Pointmer.
It evolves from Point, and then it evolves into Oculus.
It's a legendary Pokemon. I love that Brock, by the way. I love that Brock cares more about Ash's Pokemon than Ash does, because Brock actually brings Ash's Pokemon with him.
I brought all your Pokemon with you. I'm holding them in my hands.
And Ash never takes it away from him, by the way. He's just like, oh, thanks. That's cool.
Thanks, bitch. But this episode also highlights Brock's continuing obsession with the Joys. And
they need to fill that time somehow, man.
I mean, I always found that charming about Brock is that he's just the good old classic perv dude.
Yeah, I guess. So when you're trying to find a hospital, Nick, and all the waiting rooms are full, you know, because it's not like an emergency or anything. All the waiting rooms are full, so you're like out in the middle of the street like, man, I really need a hospital or a doctor. There's a guy in a back alley with a mask covering over his face, and he's like gesturing, he's like beckoning you toward him.
Well, I don't know.
You go down that dark alleyway, Nick?
Well, maybe this guy is like in a nurse's outfit with some boobs. Yeah, sure.
No, well, really, as long as he's got the boobs, that means
he's obviously a nurse. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Because that's what they do. That's what Ash and Company do.
It is.
They're like, this can't be Team Rocket. It looks kind of like James, but it can't be Team Rocket.
Maybe that's James' sister or something. I won't ask.
No, we won't ask. So again, it's this very, obviously very shoddily and very hurriedly made building, which, I mean, you gotta at least give it to Team Rocket. They made a fucking building for this scheme.
Yeah. I mean, they used their balloon as a base. Probably literally just like threw on cardboard and like got some walls and shit.
I mean, it fooled Ash and Company, not that that's saying a whole lot, but still.
It's not.
Yeah.
Jesse's in this fucking like joy mask.
Yeah, that's covering up her entire head.
Not fucking moving.
And it's just not moving. She's just like smiling awkwardly. Which, by the way, this kind of shit only works in the cartoon, because in real life you would see that it's just like a ceramic head and you'd be like, this is fucking weird. Why is the nurse wearing a ceramic head of herself? Did this Nurse Joy have a terrible, horrific accident and her face has been melted off or something? Like, what the f***?
Oh, why ceramic? That'd be horrifying.
I know.
And Brock knows something's up because he's not ogling her.
Yeah, I guess that means Jesse. He's just not attracted to Jesse or something. He thinks.
If Brock had met Jesse, like, for the first time ever, and Jesse hadn't tried to steal any of his Pokemon, he'd probably be like, "Ooh, yeah, Jesse's hot. Yeah, shit."
Yeah, okay. Ash falls for it because he's a fucking idiot. Gives away all his Pokemon.
No, he falls for it because... Oh, no, yeah, he falls for it. But Team Rocket gives themselves away because they're, like, suppressing the urge to say the anthem.
Because they mentioned the word trouble or double or something like that.
They're like, that ain't my fix!
It certainly explains why they say it every day. It's just a fix for them. They have to, or else they explode. So it turns out Team Rocket goes fucking duh.
And when they're done with it, saying their anthem, the fucking piece of paper that was covering the R part of the letter, he just slips off and falls, revealing the P to be an R. And that's just like, that was fucking great. Just that little detail, like, what?
And you know something? With every single scheme that Ash and company fall for in this series of episodes, they need to be fucking ashamed of themselves, because Team Rocket wasn't even at their most creative here.
No.
They resorted at a point, they resorted to just digging holes again. Whatever. So Team Rocket tries to get away. Brock uses Onyx to capture their balloon this time,
there
and
you go.
they get Pikachu back, and I'm sure he shocks him away. Can't remember exactly how they get away.
I think Onyx just like throws him.
Oh, that's right, he
off.
does. Onyx,
Yeah.
Onyx throws him away. And then we go immediately from Ash being like, alright, we're done with that, to the Pokemon battle. And we're in the fucking middle of it.
Oh yeah, because there was an announcement that said, by the way, very fucking conveniently, Pokemon centers are accepting more Pokemon now.
Yeah. So we immediately skip the next part and we go right to the battle. And we're in the middle of the battle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not making that
They've
up.
each had a Pokemon knocked out, I think.
Yeah. Oh no, they're down to the last two, right? Their last one each? Because doesn't he have just Arcanine left, and he might have a Pokemon before
it's
that,
Kingler versus Cloyster.
That's right, and Kingler
fucking cracks Cloyster's shell.
Yeah, which... That's gotta hurt like a bitch, man.
Yeah, holy shit, man.
Holy god. Kingler does have super duper high attacks. So.
It does. So yeah, that just knocks out Cloyster. And then he sends out Arcanine. By the way, they're on the ice field now.
Yeah.
And on the last match, they were on the rock field. I don't know if people have been tracking that.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't really play a huge part into the last one, and this one not a whole lot at all. How does Arcanine beat Kingler? Does he just use like Fire Blast?
Yeah, because he dodges Kingler's bubbles, and then uses Fire Blast.
Yeah. So Ash sends out Pikachu, and
Pikachu tries to use agility, but then Arcanine's like, F that bullshit, melts the entire arena.
Which, dumb move, because water conducts electricity, so...
Well, okay. Yeah, is it dumb, or is it smart to use against the 10-year-old who wouldn't normally think about that for himself?
Oh, that's
and
true.
And who fucking has people behind him who are telling him battle advice
that's
when
true.
they really shouldn't be. It's illegal to get advice like that in the middle of a Pokemon match. This isn't boxing. You don't need a coach.
Yeah, man,
That's what Ash is supposed to be. He's the coach.
Brock and Misty are coaching the out of Ash.
The coach doesn't need a coach.
At a point, it's like, maybe they should have just been doing the battle for Ash.
So yeah, Ash wins due to interference, because Pikachu uses Thunderbolt and it's super fucking powerful.
And then Arcanine almost drowns in the water or something,
and then there's a whole little, in the background, we see them having to rescue Arcanine, but it's too heavy. So it takes like a lot of paramedics to go and grab them, but the Arcanine goes a little wild because it's afraid for its life. So it kills some people. Then they have to bring in the Pokemon control and put it down because it's too savage at that point. It can never recover from the trauma.
So how many Voltorbs do you give this episode, Nick?
I give this 1.5.
1.5?
Yeah.
I'm considering that score myself. This was a pretty weak episode. Initially I gave it 2, but it was let down a lot by that entire midsection with f***ing Team Rocket.
My issue is that subtract 2 episodes of filler and give us 2 episodes of each of those battles.
Yeah.
Like, we're in the Pokemon League. I want to see full episodes dedicated to battles.
Yeah.
So, like, I want to see what the 2 middle trainers are. But I guess Ash does only have, like, 9 Pokemon total.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, less than that. Like,
species of Pokemon, he only has 8. No, he has 9. No, he has
He has 5 on his team.
5 on his
normally,
team, and then
plus 3.
Plus 3, yeah. So 8 unique species of Pokemon.
Yeah, so that's... Yeah, nah. Okay. I guess that makes sense that you wouldn't want to... He does have a lot of Pokemon to go through, variety-wise. Yeah. You don't need to show all those Pokemon in all the battles. Yeah, well. But still, it's weird to have 2 weak battles.
But I mean, especially when, like, so much of the middle of this episode was just nonsense, and you honestly could have had this entire episode be comprised of the 2 battles.
You could have.
Because, like, it's not like the stuff in the middle was pertinent to anything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm giving this 1.5 too. Yeah, okay. This was
I gave it the half
weak.
Because of that R.
I mean, there's some amusing parts, and, like, the battles themselves, what was shown were good. Interesting. Yeah, like, they were fun. But it needed more. It did need more. All right, next episode.
Next episode!
All right. Are you ready for a much better episode?
The 4th round rumble.
The 4th round rumble.
Well, that's your opinion.
Oh.
No, you're right. It's a much better episode.
Okay, I was about to say, if you like this episode less, I mean, the last episode was just not a very good episode. This episode was at least, like, dynamic and had stuff going on, so...
Yeah, it did.
This episode, we opened up with Gary losing.
You mean Gary? The announcer called him Gary, so it's canon.
It's canon. Gary is in his front. I was like, Gary? What? Yeah, Gary apparently loses his 4th match.
Yeah, Nidoking versus Golem.
Yeah, this time Golem rightfully wins. Yeah. Because you can't just knock out a f***ing highly defensive rock-type Pokemon with one
horn attack,
mediocre powered normal move. That's not even stab.
You have a Nidoking, Gary. Use Dig. Earthquake isn't used in the anime. Just use Dig.
Use Ice Beam. Like, Nidoking's special stat is not that bad.
No, it's not.
Yeah, use Ice Beam. Use anything. Why are you using Horn Attack? You idiot. That's why you lose.
So I guess Gary isn't that good of a battler.
No. I feel like Gary takes his loss
He's
very interestingly.
Real nonchalant about it.
He is. He is very... It's actually kind of strong character building that he reacts the way he does to his loss.
He's like, yeah, it sucks, but whatever.
But, like, it's a tournament. Like, it's difficult. He even calls out Ash that, like, Ash had 2 very easy victories already.
He did.
So...
You know they're easy because they didn't show the full battle.
Yeah. I mean, one of his opponents had a fully evolved grass-type Pokemon that lost to a Krabby, so...
So, yeah. Ash, you've been f***ing lucky as shit.
Yeah, he got lucky in his first couple of rounds, it seems like. Team Rocket's in this episode, kind of, sort of. Like, yeah, they're just in the background.
They're actually, like, making honest money.
Yeah.
Semi-honest money.
I kind of enjoyed it, actually. Yeah. But they're, like, selling, like, cheap souvenirs, like little trinkets to people.
And, like, James is watering Victory Bell, and Victory Bell immediately goes,
and starts eating it. Since this was the first time Victory Bell had ever done that, I'm pretty sure, that was funny. Like, that was very amusing.
I think Victory Bell's did it once before, and it was, like, very early on, and just being under...
No, I don't think so.
Did he not eat him when...
Because he's only sent out Victory Bell, like, one other time, and I'm pretty sure he didn't try to eat him then.
Huh. Now I have to go back.
Yeah. You're going to go back and watch some of these episodes?
Yeah. I mean... I have to look up the episodes Victory Bell was in, but yeah, and then I'll just fast forward. But yeah, whatever. I don't know.
So anyway, that's kind of cute. So now it's time for Ash's 4th round match against, what was her name?
They gave her like a whole last name too.
Yeah, they gave her like a really...
They gave her a French or English name, but then she was very Japanese.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny. She was very Japanese.
Yeah.
Like, they had her roll out a carpet in front of her, and she's wearing, like, this big old kimono.
She's wearing a kimono. There's sakura leaves everywhere. Yeah.
Like, she's
got the whole montage of fans.
She's almost, like, the equivalent of, like, Apollo Creed coming out to, like, only in America and wearing, like, the American flag boxing shorts. So, Ash sends out Bulbasaur to start the match. And she sends out Beedrill.
Beedrill. And Bulbasaur is, like, really good at dodging Beedrill.
Oh my god,
like,
Bulbasaur is...
It's weird to see
easily
the animation
yeah.
of Bulbasaur being so good at dodging.
Like, he's just, like, not even that, like...
Oh,
he's just, like...
he's got a worried face, but,
yeah.
like, he's doing it.
He's doing just fine. Yeah, he's doing alright.
And, Leech Seed should just be the instant go-to move.
Yeah, I don't know why Ash doesn't just always use Leech Seed no matter what.
Like, Leech Seed, it's either gonna make them faint instantly or stun them long enough to kill them.
Yeah, because that's what happens. He uses Leech Seed, and that Beedrill goes down like that. It's pretty impressive, really.
Like, the Beedrill's like... the Beedrill is, like, paralyzed.
Yeah.
And then Bulbasaur's just free to, like, tackle it to death.
Yeah, it's great. So then she sends out Scyther. I love Scyther. Scyther was one of my favorite Pokemon in Generation 1.
And the Scyther did not disappoint. It was just the slashing machine.
Yeah, it was great. Double team, swords dance, slash. Like, it was like, rah! And Bulbasaur was, like, dodging it. And that was actually a really cool part of the battle, too.
Bulbasaur was, like, had a harder time dodging this one, though. I think it was hit a couple of times.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
If he hadn't regained health from Leech Seed, he probably would have gone down.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, but he manages to... I love how Ash's... The big strategy to beat this Scyther is hit all three of the Scyther, like, images at the same time with your Vine Whip. It's like, really? That had to be, like...
I thought...
Said?
That was obvious.
Yeah.
If you have multiple opponents, hit them all at once. That's, like, video gaming 101.
Exactly.
The one weird thing was that, like, the Scyther used double team. Bulbasaur knocked them out one by one until only the real one was left. And then all of a sudden, there were 3 Scythers again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It never used double team
again. It didn't use
again.
double team again, but it had its copies back. The little... I guess they threw away that.
Maybe it made
couple
5,
frames of
and the other 2 just hung back. Like, hey, we're on the opposite corner of the field.
We'll come in a minute. We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bulbasaur beats 2 of his Pokemon. He almost sweeps through her team with Bulbasaur. It was pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sends out her creme de la creme, her amazing-ass Pokemon, Bellsprout.
And her Bellsprout almost sweeps through Ash's team.
Yeah, Bellsprout was f***ing... I loved watching Bellsprout destroy Ash's Pokemon.
It was playing very inappropriate music. Like, it's playing like that silly, oh boy, what are these hijinks going on? No, Bulbasaur was being destroyed.
I know, it should have been
like, it should have been like Game of Thrones, really dark shit. Like, Ash, be worried about your Bulbasaur being judoed to death.
So he sends out Pikachu because, grass-type Pokemon. Obviously you want to use electric-type Pokemon.
Yeah. And,
Pokemon anime logic.
But this Bellsprout's special because its roots act like little lightning rods. Which is really what all grass Pokemon do. So
Pikachu can't do shit to Bellsprout, and Bellsprout just, like, destroys the shit out of Pikachu.
Pikachu can't take a hit. Like, Pikachu only took, like, 1 hit and was, like, down.
That's pretty much canon, though. Like, Pikachu deals out a lot of damage, but it cannot take a hit.
That's true. I'll agree with that.
Yeah. Especially Ash's Pikachu. Like, it cannot take a hit.
Oh, by the way, Professor Oak and Delilah show up in this episode.
They do.
They do.
Professor Oak was like, yeah, since Gary lost, I'm like, well, guess let's go vote for Ash.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. And I mentioned this because then Ash sends out his Muck. And Misty's like, I didn't even know Ash took Muck out. And Professor Oak says, well, yeah, if you can learn to not jumble your words, Misty. I sent Ash Muck when he had called the day before. Wow, I'm not sure what I'm more surprised about. The fact that Ash got Muck or the fact that he planned it.
And Professor Oak's like, hey man, don't be so... Like, Ash has been doing okay planning things out ahead of time.
Like, I know he doesn't train as much as he should have.
But he's actually a pretty intuitive battler, so...
Like, cut him some slack, Misty.
Yeah.
I thought you were his friend.
Yeah, what are you? Actually, why do you still hang around with Ash?
Didn't he steal your bike or something?
Why don't you just go home, Misty?
Like, just f***ing sue him for the amount of money that your bike cost and go home.
It does not seem like you like him that much.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to keep following him around.
It is Professor Oak talking, by the way. This is all word for word what he says to Misty.
It is. He actually goes on for a pretty long time. It's a pretty big rant. After a while, Delilah just kind of like, honey, stop it.
They're not supposed to know we're married, Delilah. And then he slaps her. And then Brock's like, whoa, Professor Oak, you shouldn't be hitting women like that. And he says, I'll do what I want. And then he slaps Brock. And then they have to escort him out while Ash uses Muck to basically destroy Bellsprout.
Yep.
Because Bellsprout can't do a Vine Whip kick to Muck because it just absorbs all the hits.
And then it lays on top of Bellsprout and
the body slam. It's a body slam.
It to death.
By the way, can we talk about in like Pikachu's act of desperation, it tried to like fight Bellsprout?
Yes!
Like he tried to punch and kick it.
It was great.
Because electricity wasn't going to work, so clearly fighting moves that Ash did not ask it to do will work.
I also love how when Pikachu faints, Ash is there in like 2 seconds. And that is like a football-length battlefield. He gets there really darn quick.
Well, we see him survive a jump from a balloon, so he could probably...
Yeah, he's okay. And then when he takes him back to like the platform, he leaves Pikachu on like the floor, and he goes up onto the platform.
You don't deserve to be this high.
I'm mad at you, Pikachu. You almost lost me the match, you piece of Pokemon. What the f***?
He ends up winning.
Yep.
Yay.
Yay. So what'd you think of the episode, Nick? Did you like it?
I gave this 3 Voltorbs.
I gave it 3.5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably should rate this higher, but 3.5s are usually... You know what? Actually, you're right. I had no issues with this episode.
Yeah, I had very few issues with this episode. I had, like
the Team Rocket bit was really funny.
Yeah. They do another little, like, scheme that doesn't work because their hose doesn't work. So they just get chased by Officer Jenny. That's like all
yeah,
they
that
do.
was it. Yeah, this is a famous episode because...
Yeah, because Officer Jenny says,
Arcanine!
Flamethrower! And it's a Growlithe. Maybe Arcanine was the nickname of the Growlithe. You don't know.
I mean, that's fair. But what kind of psychopath nicknames their Pokemon their fully evolved name?
No, I thought this episode was really good. Because the battle... Not that in order for a Pokemon episode to be good, it has to have a good battle.
But it helps a
It helps a lot, yes. Exactly. Because the battle was dynamic. Like, even though I know that Ash wins, I was still like, how's he going to win? How's he going to pull this off? And the Bellsprout was so freaking funny. That Bellsprout was awesome.
And its voice does fit really well.
It does.
Bellsprout. Bellsprout.
Bellsprout.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
And it is nice to see Ash being intuitive with his Pokemon. Like, he did pull out Muck for a good battle against grass Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. He does a good job. Yeah, this episode could have been better. It probably could have been more tightly edited. It probably could have had some nicer animation, but overall I thought it was really solid.
Oh yeah,
I liked it a lot.
I can't really. The only way it could be better is if it had the story amount. If we had gone into more of the background of what's her face.
Yeah, or just in general, maybe a tighter, a better story being told with this episode.
Because that's what we give the 4s to.
Yeah, exactly. Because this was basically just a battle.
Yeah.
So, next episode?
Next episode.
Okay, great. Episode 80.
A friend indeed is a friend in me. I can have my friend in me, and then they will want to get out, but I'll say no. You stay in there because you're a friend indeed. Several years pass. Their bones are in my stomach. I've eaten them, and they have
cutting out all of this. None of this is gonna make it.
Well, you're not a friend indeed, then.
Nope. So I love how all of the last 3 episodes of this season
have friend
in the title.
A friend indeed.
I mean,
friend and foe alike.
Friends to the end.
Friends to the end. Yeah.
And they're all deviations of a common phrase that has the word friend in it. All right. So this episode introduces us to a character named Richie, who is
basically Ash.
Ash clone. Yeah.
Yeah.
This would have been a good episode for Delia to say, does Ash have a twin? Because they look almost exactly alike.
And that would have been a funny joke, ha 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 ha, it's the same character. He's just f***ing smarter.
He's just smarter. Exactly.
So it starts with Ash, and company and family, saying, "Oh man, I'm hungry. What should we eat?" And then Delilah says, "I'll cook for you." "But where are you gonna cook, Mom?" And then she says, "Oh, don't worry about that."
And she hijacks a kitchen in a fucking restaurant.
So we see a bunch of like chefs be knocked out and saying, "Please, this is our livelihood, ma'am. I have to make food for my son."
And then she shoots him in the face.
Yeah.
It was pretty graphic.
Or she just fucking waltzes in there apparently and starts cooking.
I would have liked to know how that conversation went. Hey, get out of the way. I gotta do a thing. Okay.
Okay.
I guess we'll do that then.
We've been making free food and not getting paid. So go ahead.
That's true. Maybe she went into like or something.
Yeah. Okay, honey. Give mommy an extra 15 minutes. Oh, all three of you? 45 minutes. That'd be sad.
Oh, man.
The things your mom has to do in order to cook you food.
Oh, man.
No, I don't think
Jesus.
she did that.
No, I don't think so. You never know. So Ash's mom cooks for them. And then they go back to the hotel. And that's when they meet Richie.
Because, they meet Richie, and because he's like, "Hold the elevator," and they're like, "Haha, you," or "Okay, yeah, sure, here you go." And they do hold the elevator, and then the elevator breaks down because of a power outage, which they're not surprised about, which is weird.
No, well, they probably assumed it was Team Rocket, like I did, because I just assumed, this must be where Team Rocket comes in for this episode.
It wasn't. It was just Professor Oak says, "Oh, it must be a power outage."
Just random power going out.
You know, happens.
And Richie hacks into the electrical system of the elevator and restarts it with Pikachu's electricity, which, can you do that?
Yeah, probably.
Outside of a magical electric mouse, would you be able to just, like, restart an elevator?
Yeah, if you have, like, a little battery thing. Yeah, that could work.
Okay, fine. I don't care.
Yeah, it's the same way as starting up a car.
Okay, great.
It's a fucking giant mechanical thing. So then they do say, "Man, it's great that we did hold open the door for you." And then they thank him, and then he says, "Don't thank me, thank Pikachu."
And then Ash says,
"Thank you."
"Thank you."
I just told you not to thank me.
So the next day, they're about to go do their thing-a-ling, and then
What's their thingling? I need you to describe what a thingling is.
That's when they sword fight. They pull out their and
I need you to actually tell me what a thingling is, because I don't know what you're saying. They're going to pick who's going to be in the next match?
Yes.
Okay.
So the next day, they're going to pick who's going to be in the next match. Then there's a big announcement made by a random white van that's rolling down the street saying, "All right, everyone's got to go to the Pokemon Center and check in your Pokemon for an inspection.
Give us your Pokeballs for an inspection.
Give us all your Pokeballs, every single one of them.
If you don't, you will be disqualified."
Yep. So they got this official person with a bag.
Yeah. Give all of your Pokeballs to the official-looking man with a mustache.
And just put them in his bag.
And it's clearly Jesse and just glasses.
I mean, there's...
And James with the mustache. This is
their
single worst disguise.
Again, Ash and company should be ashamed of themselves for falling for this. Just put it in the bag, unlabeled, with all the other Pokeballs.
After the 4th round of the Pokemon League.
Exactly. After the 4th round. After 4 rounds have gone by, no one's asked for an inspection.
What Pokemon doping are they going to do after the 4th league?
Why would they?
4th round. It's very obviously a hijacking
Come on,
plan.
man.
But then again, where's the fucking Pokemon League to say, "Hey, there's people saying to put your Pokeballs in a fucking bag. Don't do it."
Well, maybe they're like, you know what? No one would possibly be stupid enough to fall for that.
Yet hundreds of people do. You calculated it earlier. There's only supposed to be 256 people, yet there's like at least 100 there. At the very least, 50.
Team Rocket drives away with all the Pokeballs, and Ash is like, "Hey, wait a second!" And he starts to run after them, and Richie...
On foot,
and Richie follows. No one else follows! No one else is alarmed at all. Even though they did their whole Team Rocket motto.
Yeah, did.
And then they drove off.
Because they can't...
Because they even had Weezing, like, do the smoke and then they were like, all right, let's get in the van and drive off.
Was this the one where Jesse has...
No, that's later.
Later, okay,
that was later.
2 episodes from now.
She's done it before,
But
though.
it's because Ash and Richie are both the protagonists in Red and Blue. No one else does anything with Team Rocket in those games, so it's only natural that they
everyone just watches them run away, and they're like, it's pretty dumb what they're doing. Let's grab some Officer Jenny's and rent some Jeeps. Probably catch them about the same amount of time as it take them.
Smart idea.
Smart idea. Let's do that.
We'll catch them tomorrow. They'll probably suck off. So then...
Ash and Richie have their whole bonding thing where they run after them, they can't catch them, then they have to spend the night.
Wait, no. They chase after them. They're like, oh, they're on road. We can't catch them. Not if we cut them off from this very steep hill. So they run downhill very, very, very fucking fast. And Richie's like, Ash, stop. No, Richie, I have to catch them. Ash, seriously, for sake, stop. No, Ash. And then Richie tackles Ash. They slide all the way to the cliff's edge. And Ash, like, knocks Richie off, like, violently. It is, like, with an elbow. Saying, why'd you do that? Bitch, if I didn't, you would be dead. And so, here, we'll climb down the cliff. And so they do that. And then they're able to catch Team Rocket in the middle of the road. But then instead of just running them over, they drive off into the river.
Totally willing to burn Ash alive.
Yeah. Why do they have
earlier.
reservations about killing him now?
Yeah.
Like, do you...
I mean, it. You could say you didn't see him. Like, he's in the middle of the road and you're driving a van.
I mean, maybe they don't want to damage the van. Like, tackling 2 10-year-old boys would probably do pretty severe damage to your getaway vehicle.
Oh, but they'd be done with Ash. And Ash wouldn't be able to catch up with them later and steal back the Pokemon and destroy the van anyway.
He's in a wheelchair for the rest of the show. Actually, that'd be very cool. I wouldn't mind watching a wheelchair-bound Pokemon trainer. That'd be cool. So
they spend the night with each other.
Oh, because Richie has 2 sleeping bags.
Even though he travels by himself.
When you travel on the road for as long as I have, it always makes sense to carry 2 sleeping bags. Even though he doesn't. It's the night of, and Ash is in the sleeping bag, and Richie's like on top of the tarp with a blanket over him.
Because there's probably a deleted scene where he was like, oh, I don't have 2 sleeping bags. I only have the one. Guess we'll have to share it. And Ash was like, no, dude. So they Brokeback Mountain. I mean, they sit up in the night and they like connecting stars to make Pokemon.
Pokemon constellations, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute.
It is actually kind of cute. They try really hard with the romance to the point that it's almost a romance, but it's still, I mean, they almost do like a Frodo Samwise type deal where they're going a little too overboard, but it still works. Like
you gotta do it when they have the stakes set up later.
Yeah, exactly.
So they wake up in the morning, they sneak it, they find Team Rocket's tracks, they
find out that Team Rocket is still asleep, so they're like, well, let's
and
just kind of sneak by.
They're in color matching sleeping bags.
Yeah, Jesse's got a red one, James has a blue one, and Meow has like a
yellow one.
Yeah.
So they just sneak into the van, but then Team Rocket's immediately there.
Yeah.
Oh, but they can't find their Pokeballs at all.
Because they're not labeled, except for
Richie, because he's smart.
He's smart, and he puts gold star stickers on all
proud
of his.
of all of them. Good job.
He's such a
generic ass Pokemon.
Such a white kid.
He's even whiter than Ash is.
He really is. Putting gold star stickers on his Pokeballs.
All my Pokemon win. Even Happy.
Even Happy.
Oh yeah, he nicknames his Pokemon.
He nicknames Pokemon, and they're all really okay. Actually,
Zippo is clever.
Zippo is clever. Sparky is generic but okay. Happy is just kind of weird.
Name it Tramp Stamp. You name Butterfree's Tramp Stamp.
That's a good name.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ash sends out Squirtle while Team Rocket is like abducting them to try and like beat Jesse Zarbach. But then James, while driving, says, "Turn attack!"
Yes, that was my favorite gag of the whole episode. Because Pikachu says, "Thunderbolt attack" on the Arbok.
Oh, that's it.
And then James says, "Turn attack," and he turns the wheel.
Disorienting Pikachu. So it's an actually good attack.
It's actually a good move. Good job. And it was funny because he said turn attack, and we've been trashing the anime for using attack on every single attack that they use.
But this one's appropriate.
This one's appropriate. and funny. Oh, also someone had a Magikarp. Like I mentioned earlier, they send out a Pokeball and there's like a Magikarp flopping on the ground. I'm like, who f***ing brings a Magikarp to the Pokemon League?
They want to get the experience so they can evolve into a Gyarados. Can you imagine how f***ing epic it would be if you send out if your opponent sends out an Exeggutor, but your Magikarp is able to tackle its ass to death? So then your Magikarp evolves into Gyarados and just f***ing wipes the floor with the rest of his team? That's f***ing epic.
That would be epic. I'll give you that. I will give you that.
You get a story written about you if that happens.
You can get another gold star sticker.
Yeah. Team Rocket blasts off due to some tomfoolery. Oh, because they explode the front half of the van.
Yes, that's exactly what happens. And then they blast off.
They have the parachute, and then Ash and Richie have to parachute themselves down.
Yeah,
with Butterfree and Pidgeotto. And it's very silly looking. And then they immediately see all the vans with the Officer Jennies and the Brocks and the Misties, and they say, "Hey,
you guys saved all the Pokemon. You didn't have to do that, you know. Like, we track Team Rocket. Like, they're not that hard to find.
They're terrorists. They're on the wanted list."
We had a helicopter in the sky. Like, we were on it, man. But good job. Hopefully, you didn't almost die.
I wonder if they get like bounties every time they stop Team Rocket plan from happening.
So, what'd you think of this episode overall?
I gave it 2 Voltorbs.
Really?
I could probably give it, yeah, you're convincing me. 2.5.
2.5.
2.5, because I didn't not like it. It was there.
It was there. It was very there.
Oh, hold on, we're forgetting an important part.
What happened?
So, they now have to decide who they're going to battle in the next match. Richie's already up on display, so now it's Ash's turn.
I like that they fish it out with a magic card that's
all
stamped
like
on
A3.
Yeah.
And so, oh my god, Ash pulled up the worst person he could have picked. Richie! Lifelong friends who they've known each other for 1 day.
I mean, at least, if they were going to make the next episode such a big deal about them being friends and everything, at least the Pokemon show had the wherewithal to make this episode in between to set up this character.
That's true. At
like,
least they did that. But
that's why I at least gave this 3 Voltorbs.
But if this were if Brock were in the Pokemon League battling...
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It would make a lot more sense, I agree. But, I mean, the idea of going out to big competition and meeting someone who has, the same kind of passion you are is very, I can see that happening. And then for them to, bond over the whole getting the Pokemon from Team Rocket, that's believable. I can believe that.
Right.
And while I do think that they kind of went overboard with the friendship thing, they at least tried to do it, and it did work. And I enjoyed it.
Plus, they have the exact same fashion sense.
Yeah, they do. Because they probably have the exact same character stencils that they use.
Okay, we gotta add a little bit more hair, take off the line and cheek things. Okay, there you go.
There you go. Yep, color palette. There we go. We got it.
Fantastic.
Almost the same exact trainer. And yeah, it's good to have that they have a mirror image of each other for someone for Ash to work off. That's a mirror image of himself.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea.
I think Richie does have spin-off episodes. They're in Pokemon Chronicles or something. We follow him for an episode or 2. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was kind of dumb. It was a little point. They could have, if they were going to have the last episode have, was that the most previous episode? No, the episode before that. Have, 2 battles book ending, a bunch of nothing.
And that should have been in the middle.
They could have had Richie in the middle of that.
That would be smart.
Yeah, but I still think they did okay with it.
Did you say official how many you gave it?
3.
3? Okay.
3 Voltorbs. This isn't going to make my top 10 list, but it's not going to make my bottom 10 list by any means.
Oh, there we go then.
So.
Nice.
Next episode?
Next episode.
Episode number 81. It's so
Friend
weird.
and foe alike.
Friend and foe alike. It's so weird saying episode number 81. Jesus Christ. Remember when we were saying episode number 2? Episode number 22?
episode 14.
It's been such a long season.
We're almost through it.
I know.
We're almost through it. These last 2 episodes right
I know.
here.
And the good thing is, like, all the other seasons are, like, a little bit more than half this length, right? So that'll be good.
Yeah, this is the one trudging one we have to go through.
Whew.
Now, region-wise, the rest of the seasons are combined seasons, though. So, like, there's, like, Johto, and then there's...
Oh, Johto number 2.
Like, yeah, the second half of Johto.
Oh, okay.
And it's the same with, like, Hoenn and all the other ones. So Ash is like, oh, man, I can't believe I have to battle Richie. And so Misty's like, hey, I'm on the internet, and apparently there's a database of all the Pokemon trainers and the Pokemon they've used so far. And Richie is fucking badass, apparently.
Yeah, he hasn't lost a single Pokemon in the league so far, and...
He's only shown 3 Pokemon.
He's only shown 3. That's really fucking impressive, considering one of those Pokemon is a Butterfree, and the other 2 are not fully evolved at all. Like
Pikachu and a Charmander.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Well, the Charmander makes sense.
Yeah, that Charmander is badass as shit, man.
We'll talk about that Charmander.
Yes, we will. I love what Misty says, though, is that... Because Misty's like, oh, you guys are pretty even on this and that and that. She's like, it'll basically come down who's the better Pokemon trainer. So
Tough
you're
luck.
in trouble, Ash.
Tough luck, Ash. Can we mention that Brock called fire Pokemon
Flame type Pokemon? Yes. I think that's actually like a translation thing, because I think in Japanese...
It is flame?
The fire type is called the flame type.
Just weird.
Yeah, it's weird that they would make... It's especially
now
weird.
Of all episodes.
2 episodes remaining after like, an especially long season. Now they decide to make that mistake.
Like, at least do it at Cinnabar Island.
Yeah.
Where you're facing the flame Pokemon gym leader. Whatever.
Oh, well. This episode gets going, and Ash gets a call. Well, first Misty answers the phone, and it's "quote-unquote" Richie. Did you write down what he said to her specifically?
You're that stuck-up lame-o he hangs out... Oh, right. You're that stuck-up lame-o he hangs out with.
With the loud mouth, right?
With the loud mouth, right? Well, when you see Ash, can you just tell him? You stupid bitch. I'm Richie. F*** you.
Missy's like, all right, here, Ash, take the phone. He's an asshole.
Well, holy f***, Richie, you're a little sh**.
And Ash is like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh, hey, come meet me with your Pikachu.
It's about Pikachu.
It's about Pikachu. Ash is like, okay, so he goes down to the woods where Richie said to meet him. And Richie's there, but he's a puppet now.
Ash doesn't notice this.
Or he just is like, okay, yeah, sure, he's a puppet now.
Why
that
are you in the
woods?
woods?
My friends once, yeah.
Why are you in the dark, Richie? Come out of the woods, Richie.
And then Puppet Richie comes out and just starts kicking Ash in the crotch.
Just knocks Ash up.
And
then they just throw a
the
net
hell out of him.
They throw a net over him. And then Team Rocket does their f***ing motto because they have to. It's crack.
So they take Ash and put him into the back of their, I guess, a new van.
They just have vans.
That's what they do now. They have vans.
And do we know Team Rocket's motivation? Are they literally just trying to f*** with Ash?
I don't know. That's what they kind of hint at later. They're just like, if you want to get to the Pokemon League, you have to hand over Pikachu. I think they're trying to get Pikachu.
Either get Pikachu or you miss your match.
Yeah.
This is our most vindictive plan, Ash.
So they're driving Ash away, and they get pretty far until they're like, wait, where's all this water coming from? Squirtle's just been filling up the back of the van or truck or whatever with water.
Ash is on the verge of drowning doing this.
What if they hadn't noticed? What if this was an watertight vehicle and they ended up drowning?
Oh god, I've made a terrible mistake. or as he would have sounded, So yeah.
Anyway,
that plan works. And the van's destroyed. So Ash starts running back.
Yep. And Team Rocket is fucking relentless in this episode. I love it.
First they chase him on the
yeah, on the
on
axle.
The ruins of the axle of the fucking van. And they're like, we're not gonna let you get away, Ash. And Ash is like, fuck you.
And he just kind of steps out of the way and they go crashing because they can't control that thing.
Yeah, so he sends out Bulbasaur and he deals with them. And then they're like, great, I can run some more. So then he runs some more. Meanwhile, Richie is at the Pokemon Stadium and waiting for Ash.
As is everyone.
And now there's drama because Ash is about to be late.
Yeah.
So then we go back to Ash, and he's running, and he says, "Okay, Pikachu, I think you can make it." And then, Yoo-hoo!
Hey, Ash turns around. They're chasing him on bicycles now. Where'd they get those bicycles?
Oh, they were in the van, man. There was some random bicyclist bystander right where Ash beat them up, and then he said, "We're taking these."
So they chase after him. Ash deals with him again, and then he steals their bike. And he's like, "I'm just borrowing it." Oh man, like at first I was sort of annoyed, and then it just like every time Team Rocket appeared again, it got funnier and funnier for me. Like it just made me laugh.
Team Rocket either doesn't show up at all, and it's great, or they fucking show up too many times, and it's great.
Apparently, they come with like a claw on the crate.
Yeah,
balloon.
that's the next plan. They bring the balloon in. Don't know why they didn't do that in the first place.
And Ash just like lets him claw it up, and then he sends out
Pikachu and Pidgeotto
to electrocute them and send them off again.
So then he has Pidgeotto fucking carry the remainder of the balloon all the way to the fucking Pokemon League while Ash is hanging off with the clawed-on bike and Pikachu on his shoulder. And, like, they've already given Ash a 10 minutes, like,
you got
extension.
time limit, yeah. Like, he's got 10 minutes to show up, and then, like, I gotta call it, man. Like, this is way too long. And I like that, like, one of the main motivators for Ash to get there on time was because he promised Richie a really good battle.
Because they're friends, they have to get to the best battle they've ever done.
Exactly. And that is such an interesting dynamic to me. That it could have just been, like, it really could have just been, like, Ash needs to make it to the battle because, like, it's a battle. And it's the Pokemon League.
Yeah.
But they actually went the extra step to give it extra stakes.
No, this battle is not just a Pokemon League battle. It's a Pokemon League battle between friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It matters more. It's like keeping a promise to a good friend. Like, it was cool.
Cause, yeah, I want to point out that I don't have any quarrel with Ash and Richie being friends. That's great. That makes the whole f***ing relationship stronger. I just find it silly that he's introduced in an episode before.
I know. It is. I kind of agree. Like, they could have introduced him much earlier.
Like, at the intro to Pokemon League,
yeah,
if he was the running the torch, for example, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be. Maybe they start off as bitter rivals. Like, maybe they hate each other, and then they like each other, and then they have to battle each other.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah, that would have been a much stronger dynamic. So Ash finally gets to the stadium.
He's, like, coming from this balloon, and everyone's like, "Whoa, that's pretty dramatic entrance." And Ash is like, "Hey, Richie!" And then he jumps off and then completely explodes because he just fell 50 feet.
That's not actually what happens. He jumps off, and he lands perfectly on his feet, and his legs both break. And he's like, "Oh my god! Oh, help! Oh, Jesus, this hurts so much!"
But that's not what happens. He just jumps from a 50-foot flying balloon, and it's fine.
And it's fine, yes. And
now... Christ, Ash. Like, what's the point of Pokemon battling if you could do that?
So now it's time for the big showdown between Richie and Ash.
Richie, do they say where Richie's from?
I don't think so.
Okay. You know what's sad, though? This is not the best battle they've ever had. It's actually kind of bad.
Well...
It's not, like, bad, but, like...
It's weaker than the grass battle, for sure.
Weaker than the grass battle, and I think weaker than the water battle.
Which one? With like,
Mandy
and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one had a lot more going on in it, too. I agree.
Because, like, yeah, the Squirtle and Butterfree, that's a good battle. Like, they were each exchanging blows.
Mm-hmm.
Butterfree beat Squirtle by using Sleep Powder, which, why isn't that a one-hit KO move? Like, why don't they just use Sleep Powder all the time?
I know, yeah.
Because, like, if you're a Pokemon sleeping, then they can't battle. Then
once Squirtle's asleep, he's like, he's out of the match. Well, I guess, it's not waking up. It can't battle.
So then is Rest just an automatic suicide move?
I wouldn't think, because Rest is a controlled sleep move. So
the referee knows it's gonna wake up.
Yeah, it's gonna wake up in a short amount of time.
Okay, and Sleep Powder could last like 8 rounds.
Yeah, so we're not gonna have everyone sit here and watch Butterfree like tackle Squirtle until it wakes up and then faints again.
That would be fucking morbid.
So now it's Pikachu's turn, and Pikachu, I'm pretty sure, just demolishes Butterfree.
Yeah, it just Thunderbolts it, and Butterfree's down.
Now, I will actually disagree with you when it comes to, like, Charmander. The Charmander part was amazing.
Okay,
when
no,
down
okay.
and he's, like,
I'm
vicious
sorry.
as shit.
I didn't say it was a bad... I said bad battle. I retake bad battle. It's just not the best battle because of the final round.
That's true. Okay, yes, I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
Because Charmander versus Pikachu is actually a really good part of the battle.
Like, that Charmander's fucking berserk, man.
It is. Like, it's going after him. Like, it looks so vicious, and Pikachu's having a hard time keeping up. And then it's, like, using Flamethrower, and Pikachu's, like, getting burned and
like,
shit.
trying to dodge.
Yeah.
And then, like, so he finally uses Flamethrower, hits Pikachu, and then Richie has him do a tackle attack, and Charmander's face is just like this fucking crazed look, like,
and that poor Pikachu just can't keep up with
yeah,
that.
no, the Charmander beat Pikachu.
Yep.
Zippo is an appropriate nickname for Charmander.
Yes, took him right out. Now then, we get to the last part of this battle, and I love the way it concludes, but you brought up an extreme point right after we watched it of why didn't Ash use Muck next?
Yeah.
And, which I think we should talk about, because his choices between using Muck and using Charizard, because he can't use Bulbasaur because that's just gonna die.
Yeah, not against that Charmander.
Yeah, and then he knows he has that Richie has a Pikachu, so he definitely can't use Kingler.
And
Pidgeotto, good God, no.
And Pidgeotto, no. But then what about Tauros also?
Well, he didn't.
He hasn't used Tauros at all.
He has not used Tauros at all. And while it has not been unusual for him to do that, maybe he just has no experience with Tauros.
Right, so
it seemed like he had prior knowledge. When we saw the Krabby battle, it seemed like he had prior knowledge with Krabby. And then the Muck battle, maybe the same thing.
Right.
Maybe he didn't have any prior knowledge with...
Because he did catch Tauros in the Safari Zone.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Okay, so yeah, it's really only between Muck and Charizard.
It's only between Muck and Charizard. And, I mean, if you think about it, though, Charizard is his most powerful Pokemon. Almost certainly. Because Charizard was able to beat Magmar when Magmar beat Pikachu easily.
Yeah.
Then the question is, why is Muck better? Because Muck was able to beat Bellsprout earlier when Pikachu was not, but Bellsprout did have the type advantage there, too. So none of Pikachu's electric attacks were working. And again, he knows that his last Pokemon is going to be Pikachu.
Which is a specially attacking thing, and Muck's better for taking physical hits.
Yeah.
At least in the anime. Is that true in the games too?
I think Muck's special defense is pretty decent. I'll look this up later for sure, but I think its special defense is pretty decent. Its special stat in Generation 1, I have no idea about.
But its defense was just...
Yeah, I'm sure yeah.
Okay. So Charizard's more powerful, but he knows that he can't control Charizard.
Yes, but he was able to because he has seen that Charizard will battle if he sees that the opponent is worthy of him battling. As with the Magmar earlier for the 7th gym.
So then let's address a previous question. Why do people have under-evolved Pokemon? Maybe because Charizard isn't the only Charizard. Maybe there's like a Rhydon that doesn't give a unless there's a strong Rhydon.
That's true.
Maybe the fully evolved Pokemon get careless, so people have like under-evolved Pokemon, so those Pokemon won't battle. But if that's the case, you then. That's a coward tactic.
Maybe.
Have the battle to have the battle.
But, I mean, Bellsprout, took the other trainer off guard, too. Because, no one would have thought that a Bellsprout would be that powerful.
That's true.
So, it can be an underhanded tactic, too. Take people off guard. And Richie has trained the out of his Pokemon. We know that. Because that has been said.
Mm-hmm.
He is a trainer, whereas Ash, Ash is not. He does not train. He relies mostly on instinct.
He just gets distracted by slowpokes and
yes.
Jogging.
He doesn't care as much, unfortunately, it seems like.
So then...
And that comes to a head here when he realizes he has to use Charizard. That is his only chance of winning.
So then the Charizard is able to take down the Charmander because a fellow fire type. Yeah, sure, I'll kick his ass.
Yeah. And that Charmander has no chance at all.
No.
If Charizard was able to listen to Ash and battle properly, he would have beat Richie.
He would have.
That match would have been Ash's.
Because he was beating Pikachu.
Yeah, but then Charizard was like, yes, I can beat this Pikachu. Not worth my time. And Charizard lays down and decides not to battle, and Ash loses the championship.
Because he refuses to battle.
He
doesn't lose the championship, he just loses that match.
He loses that match, so he's out of the championship.
Technically the championship.
So, yes. It wasn't a championship match, but he loses.
So Richie recalled Charmander, and he still had 2 slots left on the big screen.
Yeah.
I
thought...
What are the rules of Pokemon? What are the rules of Pokemon battle? I don't...
Because I thought they said earlier, I thought they said earlier that if you withdraw your Pokemon, that Pokemon's out of the match too. Because I thought that was like a thing with one of the earlier matches with Ash, that he was afraid to recall his Pokemon because he wouldn't be able to...
I just thought they didn't. Ash didn't recall his Kingler because he was like, no, I just want to use Kingler for no reason. I don't know. I don't... I don't know. We'll Bulbapedia this. Maybe get back to it.
Yeah, I mean, either way, like, because the narrator says that in the next episode that was between their last one Pokemon each. So,
but there's 2 slots. You can't argue with the animation.
Yes, I know.
The actual show shows 2 slots.
I know.
On Richie's side.
Charizard refuses to battle, and Ash loses. Ash loses.
And he's pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
Then Richie's like, alright, he's upset, but then he says, well, good job, Richie. I'm happy for you.
Good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Nick, I'm curious, how did you feel about this episode? Like, how many Voltorbs did you give it?
Yeah, I gave it 3.
You gave it 3?
I gave it 3. Because it's got, like, fucking stakes. And it does have a battle that's driven.
Yes.
And Team Rocket is just fucking hilarious.
Team Rocket is so fucking great.
And Jesse just insults Misty with one of the best insults. Ask Richie.
Yes. The little voice changer. That was great.
Oh, so you're the fucking loudmouth. Whatever.
Yeah.
Give me Ash.
Put Ash on the phone.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it a full Voltorb. Because I would have rather Ash dealt with Team Rocket quickly, and then Ash can actually have that full-on battle with Richie that they wanted to do. Also, this shouldn't affect the score, but it is, and I'm terrible. I thought they were going to use 6 Pokemon at this point, but they don't.
I kind of like that they don't. Because the fact that the whole thing is almost underwhelming when Ash loses just kind of makes it mean that much more that he is not even close to the level of like a Pokemon Master.
That's a good point.
Yeah, like he's in the league. He got there. He got his 8 badges.
He was cocky.
But he was so fucking cocky. He never trained. He relied completely on intuition and luck and his and the strength of his Pokemon, all of which served him well. And he is not a bad battler. Like, he knows, like, how to battle. We've seen that earlier on in the show.
But he lacks experience points.
He lacks experience points. He lacks the hard work. And that was set up very early on in the show with the path to the Pokemon League. And I don't know if they did this on purpose, but I feel like they did. But maybe they didn't, because there's been so much filler. It's hard to tell what was on purpose and what wasn't. But in Path to the Pokemon League, one reason why I really liked that episode was because the message of that episode was it takes a lot of very hard work to get the things that you want, and Ash was not there then. He is still not there now because he has not put in the hard work needed to get there. I'm
really excited for the Kalos Pokemon League.
Are you?
Yeah.
Because has he been putting in the hard work?
He's been putting in the hard work.
I mean, and that's interesting to see it from this early on. I mean, to go this long of a season and to see him like want this thing for so long and then not even come close to it. I mean, that's 16. Big. Yeah, top 16 is really good, but that's still like he's still far away. Like he has his strongest Pokemon will not listen to him. And his other Pokemon are pretty underwhelming overall. Like one of them is a fucking Pidgeotto. Like that's mind-boggling, really. Even if you admit that like Bulbasaur is at the level it should be, and it obviously is because of the way it handled that Beedrill and Scyther earlier on in the show.
It knows Solar Beam.
Yeah, and it knows Solar Beam. Squirtle's not on that level either, because it hasn't even had the option to evolve yet. I've always really liked this battle. I'm actually giving this 4 Voltorbs, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really love this episode because of like...
It highlights the weaknesses of Ash?
Exactly. I mean, think about this. Think about like all other shows and like media, especially when you're a kid that you're given... Like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, like everything. If there's an underdog as the main character, Luke Skywalker, they always end up being the chosen one. They always end up being the one who saves the day and gets everything they want, and they're still amazing. They're still the best. Ash wants to be the best, but he is not even close to that. And it's so much more realistic to me. And it makes such a much more interesting message for that. Yes, you can think that but if you're not going to put in the hard work, first of all, then there's no way you're ever going to be that thing that you want. And that when that Charizard just like lies down on the ground and starts sleeping, like that's
the epitome of Ash.
That is just the manifestation of everything that Ash has failed at up to this point.
Jesus.
So
Forrest, you convinced me. That's 4. I'm giving 4.
I mean, don't just do it on my account.
No. You are fucking right. You're fucking right, because I've noticed that everyone fucking tells Ash that he doesn't work enough.
Yeah.
That episode does fucking point that out.
Yeah.
Like Richie, he says, "Yeah, I've been training my Pokemon." Like, yeah, you're supposed to.
Exactly.
Ash doesn't.
Ash does not. And aside from that, even like the technical aspects, like I thought the pacing was good in this one. I thought that like the Team Rocket stuff was really funny, which surprised me because
it didn't get in the way.
They didn't get in the way.
It did serve to like hinder Ash. It helped.
It raised the stakes. Like,
hey Ash, maybe if you trained more, you would have been able to fucking get away from Team Rocket faster.
Exactly. I mean, the stakes were so high in this one. They made it so high, so it made the fall from there so much greater.
Holy shit! When Richie and Ash were captured by Team Rocket, Bulbasaur used Razor Leaf on the wall and it did nothing. Charmander used Slash and it destroyed the fuck out of their wall.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus, Ash.
And it's even better because Richie is because he's an Ash clone.
Richie's
you can see the better version of Ash right there in front of you. He even has a fucking Pikachu, a Charmander, a fucking Butterfree.
Damn, Ash. That's so fucking sad.
Richie has a Charmander and Ash has a Charizard, but the Charmander wins, essentially, in his part of the match because, it listens to Richie and he's trained it. Ash didn't really train that Charizard that much.
No, he had a couple battles with Charmander. The Charmander evolved probably too early, and then it was barely a Charmeleon, and then evolved again.
Because it wanted to, not because Ash trained it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he used the Charmeleon, once?
Exactly. And not even then very good because it was against Paris.
Yeah, and he was trying to hinder the Paris.
Yes, and it lost. So, I love that. I love that this aspect of the show, that I love this as the conclusion. I mean, even though there's one more episode left and we'll get to that one in a minute. I love this as the concluding arc to this entire season.
Because that episode's more like an epilogue.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoyed this.
Damn, okay, yeah. 4-star Forest.
Woo! So you're ready to review the final episode
of the Indigo League.
Indigo League.
Yeah. Well,
too bad because we're not doing it today. We're doing it next time. Ha!
Ha ha! See you suckers later, bitches! Ha ha ha! No, let's do it now.
No, we're gonna do it now.
Okay,
that would be terrible.
Yeah.
That would be a terrible thing to do.
My first note is basically what you just said for that last episode. Misty says to Ash, "Hey, some 20-year-old's probably gonna watch this." And then say you didn't train hard enough. So yeah, you didn't train hard enough, Ash.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Ash is like, "F you, Misty, I'm sad." And Oak's like, "Yeah, no, Miss, this is right."
Exactly. I mean, he's handling like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid.
He's in his room. He hasn't eaten. He's being pouty. Yeah, it makes sense. I would be sad too. It's after my first loss.
Exactly. Especially one this big. And again, it was kind of a humiliating loss.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't like it came down to the last two Pokemon and their fists collided in an epic. No, it was
his last Pokemon just quit.
Yeah.
Because didn't listen to him.
Just didn't listen to him. I mean, that's a pretty hefty.
That's a loss.
That is the
audience is going to judge you for that one.
Exactly. So Misty comes in. They're trying to, and everyone comes in. They're trying to cheer up Ash, and Ash just isn't really having it because he's mopey. He had
to suppress all those emotions immediately after the loss to congratulate Richie. Eventually, Ash gets over it.
And they decide to go watch Richie's final. Or, well, they don't know it's his final match, but his match.
They go to find Richie's match and support him. Hope he wins.
Hope he wins, exactly.
So, and then we see Richie in the locker room by himself and says, "Man, it's all up to you guys now." Because now he can use 6 Pokemon. They're in that part of the league.
It's all up to you guys. Happy,
Zippo, and Sparky. Others.
Others I didn't bother nicknaming.
What are your others, Richie? Show us your Pokemon!
It's one of those battles where his first 3 Pokemon get swept by their first Pokemon, and then he manages to use Sparky for the others.
Oh yeah, my last 3 are Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres.
Ash goes in, he's like, alright, good luck, man. I know you can win, blah, blah, blah. So Richie goes out for his match, and this one's a 6-on-6 match. Fortunately, you don't see any of the match.
They montage it.
Yeah.
Like, again, apparently Charmander's going up against Rhydon, or, like,
it's not
teammates with the Rhydon.
I don't know.
The Rhydon's coming out of the fire.
He uses his Butterfree against a Venomoth, which is a really dumb... I mean, I guess Butterfree's flying type. But
his Butterfree goes up, or his Pikachu goes up against something.
No, the very last, because they show this part
right.
of the battle. This was great. It was down to Sparky, the Pikachu, and the opponent's Ivysaur.
That's right. And before that, Richie either has a Tentacool or a Spearow. He has one of those
Yeah, he has one of those two. And
I hope it's a Tentacool. That would make more sense for the balance.
The Spearow would be like, he went out that afternoon and caught a Spearow because he realized, shit, I only have 5 Pokemon for this match. Spearow! Why not?
Tentacool would at least fill his water quota, and
exactly.
Spearow would just fill the normal quota. There's no normal quota you need.
No. I mean, it was Generation 1.
Generation 1, yeah,
type,
you do, but...
But Tentacool's poison typing is probably going to aid it more than his anyway. Getting off topic a little bit. So, Sparky versus the Ivysaur, and honestly...
The Ivysaur fucking wrecks Sparky.
It's not even close. Like, it's a fun battle.
Sparky doesn't have...
But it's not even close.
Sparky doesn't have a really good battling record. It only won because Charizard quit.
Yeah.
Every other time it's lost.
It's not on the same level as Ash's Pikachu by any means.
No. Honestly, but Ash's Pikachu is not on the same level as fucking Sippo, though.
Well, that's his best Pokemon. That thing is insane.
I eat babies alive! There's a character who is a really fucked up Charmander.
That thing is insane.
Richie loses.
Oh my god, that Ivysaur hands his ass
He loses handily.
I mean, he made it pretty far. They're down to the last Pokemon each, but the Ivysaur was like...
The Ivysaur must have been her coup de grace.
Yeah, it was on a whole other level. It Vine Wisdoms, throws him around, hits him with a Solar Beam, explodes him. Never had
That's when the Ivysaur uses Solar Beam. Okay.
Yeah, never had a chance. It just demolishes that poor thing.
So Richie is sad a little, and he's like, oh, well.
Yeah.
And Ash says, well, good job, though. You went further than I did. You're better than I am!
And you went further than Gary, Ash, so there you go.
Yeah, but Gary doesn't give a
That's true. So the next part of the episode is this? Nope. First, they go out to the pond or whatever.
Because Ash and Richie are bonding over now we have stuff in common more. We both lost. But you know what? We're both winners, and that's all that matters.
And then they make out.
And this episode got Pokemon banned for a couple of years because you're not allowed to show 10-year-old yaoi on TV.
I don't know what yaoi is, but it sounds gross.
It's male gay sex.
Oh.
Or male gay. Yuri is gay female.
After they make out, Team Rocket comes in, and their master plan in this one is to dig a hole.
Go back to the classics.
Now, specifically, the pit it is.
Okay, we have to do this both at the same time because I know we're both going to be upset if the other one does it.
That's true. All right, ready?
Okay, so to quote James,
word for word,
when they trapped the Pikachus and Ash and Richie in the holes, James says,
The pit is it.
The pit is it.
Those crazy contraptions can't create the kind of classic catastrophe one can cause by cleverly concealing a calamitous crater. And it was easily the best line in the history of
That's the best,
really the show.
It's the best sentence. No, it's just straight up best sentence. Sentences
best thing
you can say
ever written.
That.
It was amazing. I think we listened to it 4 times.
Yeah, we had to write it down word for word. I wish I could go back to my high school yearbook and be like, this is my senior quote. The pit is it.
Those crazy contraptions can't create the kind of classic catastrophe
one can cause by cleverly concealing a calamitous crater.
What does that have to do with graduating high school? Everything. Thank you.
Ash is like, okay, you know what? That sentence was so fucking awesome. It fueled my Pidgeotto to be able to carry me out of the hole.
And they have Pikachu and Pikachu trapped in a cage that I guess has like a magnetic field or something.
It's electric proof.
Ash is like, well, I don't know how we get out of this one. I can't remember. I remember that they eventually free the Pikachus. They make the Pikachus electrify the cage so that when they throw it at Team Rocket, it explodes them.
Zippo was involved somehow.
I'm sure he like flamethrowered them.
Yeah. Something like that.
Bulbasaur was probably involved, and Squirtle was involved. I know that for a fact.
It was like they sent out all of their like mascot Pokemon.
Exactly. Because I remember being like, man, imagine being the Pokemon when you're set out, and like, there's just like Team Rocket and nets and like weird cages flying around. There's like a robot, and your trainer's like, use water gun. You're like, what the f*** ad? Like, this is weird, man. Catch me up a little bit.
I need context.
Yeah, so they blast off Team Rocket. And then the rest of the episode, I might be wrong, but it's pretty much just the closing ceremonies of the games, right?
It's the closing ceremonies of the games, and then Ash has like a recap of the Indigo League.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I originally gave this a lower rating because of they do a recap of like the last 5 episodes prior.
Yeah.
If they had done like an entire recap of the entire how he got to
just
the
the highlights,
League,
yeah,
or even the highlight, yeah, you can't do an 82 fucking recap.
I would hope not.
No. If they had done a highlight of like all the episodes, or at least all like the battles and stuff, yeah, sure, I'll take that for 2 minutes, but not for the last 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Granted, when this originally came out, you couldn't really binge Pokemon, so
you had to go based on your memory of what happened like 5 weeks ago.
So it makes sense to do that. But in this day and age,
clip episodes are no longer a thing.
Right.
Thank God, by the way. I always hated clip episodes, and most shows had them like before the 2000s. Almost every show I can think of had at least one clip episode.
A lot of shows have clip episodes after the 2000s. Scrubs did. But they only had like one for like the entire series, though.
I hated those.
After the 2000s.
It'd be like...
Friends had like 5.
It'd be like... Yeah, the Golden Girls had like one every season.
Jesus.
I hated those. Because like, it'd be... Like, well, we got a problem. Remember that one time when we had a problem?
No, I don't want to remember
it! So there's some cool animation in this one and everything. And like, I like the idea of this episode because of like it's just kind of like an epilogue and a wind down from the whole thing.
It is, and so it shows like, and Ash like is at the Pokemon League by himself, and then he hears, "Hey Ash," and it's his friends and family.
Yeah.
And that's like a nice little heartwarming thing. Let's go back to Pallet Town.
Yeah.
So a good end to the Indigo League. I originally gave it 2, but I changed it to 3 because I only gave it 2 because of that recap.
Yeah.
And that's too petty of me to do that. So 3 for
you almost gave the last
epilogue.
one a whole Voltorb blast just for like them not having 6 Pokemon in the final
true.
battle. So.
Yeah, I've been overly critical of these episodes. I don't know why.
You're turning it to me.
And you're turning it to me, giving them 4 and 3.5.
Well, this one I was on the fence about a lot because, like, nothing really significant happens. Like, even the one battle that's there.
But it's what's supposed to happen.
Exactly. Like, it's just supposed to be, like, a deep breath, like, after a long workout almost. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of nice, actually. I'll give it 3 Voltorbs. I wasn't hating myself during it. There was nothing really to be invested in, though.
Right.
So it's just a nice little ending to a really... really long journey.
Ungodly long.
Ungodly. Jesus Christ. I feel like when we started this review show, we were like 10 years old.
Eager, naive to see the world with bright eyes. Now we're jaded, almost 30. By the way, folks, I'm turning 27 in 2 days.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Early
birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be 27 in January.
I got 5-ish months to go.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, 5-ish months
Enjoy
to
them
go.
while you can.
I will.
Good. Let's go pick a Pokemon of the day that's probably going to be terrible or meh.
Okay. Since this is the season finale of the first season of the anime, and since it's also probably like the year-ish anniversary of us doing the show, and since it's also almost your birthday, if you want to go ahead and just pick a Pokemon of the day, I will let you. But if you think it's too much of a cop-out...
I appreciate that, Forrest. I'm really tempted to. Question. when we do one around your birthday, are you gonna straight up pick a Pokemon?
Nah.
Okay, then nah. Cool.
Okay.
Then mine's gonna be random again.
All right. Well,
unless it's full beat and illness. We talked about this, and I'm not doing them. So yeah.
All right. So what's your
12.
Okay, 12. 12 is Corsola, Nick.
Okay.
What is with you in picking numbers?
I don't fucking know.
Hey, Corsola's adorable, man.
Yeah, and that's it.
So end the Pokemon of the day?
Yeah.
No, man, come on. It's Corsola.
Okay, it's a water rock type. That's new. No,
it was not. No, it wasn't. Yeah, that was the third one at the time.
Yeah.
Well, it gets the ability Hustle.
Wow.
Yeah, so
do a lot of fucking cute Pokemon that don't need that ability.
It also gets Natural Cure.
Okay, that makes sense because it's fucking Coral.
It gets Regenerator.
That also makes sense because it's Coral.
Okay.
I don't have a Corsola.
I do.
Because I just catch them to fill up my Pokedex.
I do. Mine is a Hustle set. With a Hustle boost, its max attack at level 50 would be about like 170-ish. 170 range.
What's that base attack?
55.
Oh wow.
Yep, its base special attack is 65. It doesn't have HP worth a diddly damn. It got a boost this generation. It's still only 65 HP.
But it had it got 30 added to its total base.
It did. What are the others for? Probably its defenses. Yeah, defense and special defense both got bumped this generation.
Yeah.
Which is good for it. It deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
It deserves it. It's an adorable Pokemon. I like Corsola. The only one I have doesn't work that well for some reason. I need to retrain it probably. It's a Rock Blast Icicle Spear set with like wide lens.
So it's a terrible Cloyster?
Yeah. Without the guaranteed 5 hits in a row.
Right.
Yeah.
Corsola straight up should be a wall. Like
it should.
Because it's got Regenerator and what's the other one? Natural Cure?
Natural Cure. It naturally learns Refresh, Recover, Iron Defense, Aqua Ring, Mirror Coat. Like there's no reason for it to not be like a solid wall. Except, its HP stat is abysmal.
65? I mean, there's worse HP stats out there.
Yeah.
And its defenses, help make up for that.
They do. But it's still really hard to just make it any kind of wall.
Yeah.
You can, but it's hard. Especially with that double weakness to grass.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a wall, you don't want a double weakness to grass. They eat that shit up.
Because they'll fucking, abuse that. They're like, oh yeah, I'm a grass Pokemon. Let me just sit here and destroy you.
Yep.
Slowly.
Weakness to fighting type, weakness to ground type, weakness to electric type. None of those are super rare types to see.
Water Rock is not the best defensive type. It's a good offensive type.
Yeah, it is.
But Corsola does not.
It doesn't really benefit that much for
that.
Yeah.
I know Misty eventually gets one.
Whoop-de-doo for her. It naturally gets Ingrain. That's cool.
That is cool. It's like actual Coral.
Yeah, it's actually about it. Its moveset is nothing out of the ordinary, really. I guess stuff like Rock Tomb and Psychic and Shadow Ball. And
so it's that cute. It's like that fairy Pokemon. It's like a fairy possessed Coral.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much exactly that. You could make a super interesting Aqua Ring Ingrain set.
So it recovers like an eighth of its HP a turn and. But then Regenerate kind of makes that moot when you just...
Or,
take it out and...
Yeah.
Can you learn U-turn at all?
I don't think so. Let me look. No. Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Ingrain would be super interesting for it, but, the 2 abilities it has relies on it being switched out, so if you're going for a defensive set, which I'm assuming you would if you have Ingrain... Both of its defensive... abilities.
I would just not use Ingrain. I would use Recover or
an Aqua Ring.
Yeah. Or not even Aqua. I would just use
Lucky Chant.
I'd use Recover, Toxic, probably Power Gem, so that way it's not Taunt Bait. And
Mirror Coat would probably be good for it because you wouldn't really think of it as being a Mirror Coat.
It doesn't have a lot of HP though. Is the problem. So. If it survives, it's not going to do a lot of damage.
I mean, if you can, max out its HP, it's going to do some major damage.
That's true.
So maybe max HP, max defense with like Scald, Mirror Coat.
Ooh, maybe Rain Dance, so that way it could be like a true support.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would require some like heavy setup, I think, and his typing lets it down a lot, but like you can make it useful.
Yeah. I give it 2.5 Voltorbs. 3 aesthetically Voltorbs.
Like it's aesthetics. I love its design. It's adorable. It's one of the cutest Pokemon out there.
Would you want it to have an evolution, or is that one of those Pokemon that like it just shouldn't?
No, I can't imagine the evolution looking. I mean, you could say that for any Pokemon, but this one I feel like especially. Anything else about Corsola? It's there.
It's there.
It's there. It's a forgettable Gen 2 Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, I do like the lore that they gave it in Gen 7. Its relation with Mariani. Yeah, it has a relationship with Mariani. So in SOS battles, when you find a Corsola, it'll call a friend to help. But a Mariani will show up, and it will eat the Corsola. It'll kill the Corsola first before it tries to kill your Pokemon.
I hate those types of SOS battles, because they always happen to me when I'm trying to, like, get a hidden ability for, like, a Sableye. And then the fucking other Pokemon comes on and just kills it, and then I have to restart, and it's annoying.
Yeah, you gotta be tricky with those.
I know.
I still have yet to catch a Mariani with its hidden ability. I found a shiny one before I found one with its hidden ability.
That's funny. What is its hidden ability?
It's fucking like really good for it. It's like Regenerator or something.
Is it Regenerator?
But yeah.
I would love to talk about Toxapex. Toxapex is a cool Pokemon.
But I can't pick it, apparently!
No, you cannot. You cannot pick Pokemon with a fucking diddly ding.
So I'd love to pick Toxapex. But no, I have to give Pokemon who my best opinion on is, ooh, I really like that. That's been my best opinion.
Now, Crocodile.
Okay, Crocodile is like slightly above.
We also had to
How often have you seen me battle my Crocodile? How often have you battled me and I've used Crocodile?
Not a whole lot.
Exactly. Now, how often have you seen, I don't know, my Togekiss?
Almost every battle.
Exactly. I want to talk about one of those, but that's not going to happen.
Hey man, there are a lot of Pokemon out there, and we're only up to 21 episodes. Yeah, I catch them all. That's right.
That's true. Okay. Will Nick find a Pokemon that he actually likes to talk about and battle with?
No.
Find out in the next episode of Pokebears. That's a to be continued music.
Good job.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. So, just to let our listeners know, what are we gonna do for the next couple of Pokebears episodes? Or what's on the agenda?
So the next Pokebear episodes is gonna be, we're not gonna review any episodes next time.
You know how we said we hate clip episodes?
Yes.
Well, we're gonna do a clip episode.
We're gonna do our top 10 least favorite and top 10 favorite episodes from the very first season of the Pokemon anime, and that's gonna be the whole episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shorter one.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, maybe depends on how long we
might kill each
babble
other in
about
debate.
What? That was on your top 10 least favorite. That's on my top 10
favorite.
Ass
Murderer. And then
and then we die.
yeah. Okay. Goodbye.